Shanzi, your seasoned queen, and this is gonna be a story time about how I did surgery while being awake. Yeah, so take these off. Okay, so you see what had happened. I'm just going to get into it. What had happened was that when I was born with a cataract in my right eye. For everybody who doesn't know what a cataract is, it's when your lens are cloudy and the light doesn't pass through to get to your retina. So I was born with a I was born with a cataract in my right eye, and I could not see from that eye. So I was supposed to do surgery. It was a doctor that discovered that I could not see. Pick up yourself wherever you are. Yes. So my parents were running up and down, and they're trying to do surgery and get the money together, and they had to do tests, pantapa tests. Them carry me go down Heyyyyy to do this one bag of tests, and they were just going around. Well, according to my dad, they were going around and around, and the surgery just could not get to be done. So the reason why this here is annoying. The reason why the surgery could not be done. The reason why the surgery could not be done was because, wait, hold on. I have to make sure this thing is. The reason why this surgery could not be done. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure that this thing is focused, because there. Yeah. So sorry. The reason why the surgery could not be done all in all was because my blood pressure was too low. I still have low blood pressure, but hey, whatever. It was too low, so they put it off. So years and years passed, and it was when I was my father managed to get the surgery date, and he comes to me and he was like, Shan, you're going to do surgery on your eye, blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. So mind you, like, I'm excited. Meanwhile, everybody else is fretting, and my mom is rubbing me down with olive oil, and she's praying for me, and my grandmother, bless her heart, is encouraging me, and everything's going to be okay. And all of my friends are scared for me because I don't know what is it about surgeries that persons feel like, oh, it's like life or death situation. No, my surgery was not life or death. However, they were operating on a delicate vital organ, which is my eye. So tutus now, everybody's freaking out around me in their own little way. People are like, oh my god, me feel sorry for you. And Ray my mom is like olive oiling me in the name of Jesus, all of that. My grandmother's like, everything's gonna be okay, your eye gonna be fixed, blah 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 blah. Like I said, I could not see from my eye. Fun fact, I still can't see from my eye, but the surgery did help in that. If you look at I don't know if it was the last Q&A that I did, but I think in that Q&A I stated that one of the things I would change about myself is my eye, and that, why? Because it goes in a little bit. It goes in a little bit. And it was actually worse when I was a kid. Before the surgery, it was actually worse. Like, my eye was crossed, and it was noticeable. So everybody's freaking out. When When I was being checked into surgery, my father wasn't in the island. My mom got the money and everything from him, and she and I went down to the hospital. It was a private hospital. Went down to the hospital to check me in. So my surgery was scheduled for the Friday, and I got checked in the Thursday, and I got time off school and stuff like that. So sorry. So we go to the hospital, and they're checking me in, and they walk me to the room, put down my stuff. I don't know why I'm sounding like I'm checking into a hotel. It's a hospital, guys. It's a hospital. I'm checking in to do surgery. Oh, and for the surgery, they were to cut my eye, cut my eyeball. If it's, hope it doesn't sound too graphic. Cut my eyeball of this eye, my right eye, and extract the clouded lens, which is my cataract, the cataract, and put in an artificial lens. So right now I have an artificial lens in this eye. So we go to the room and thing, and I'm not gonna lie, that hospital was bomb because the bed that I got, I didn't get no full bed. I got one of those mattresses where you have the remote, and you can move the upper, you can move the head, you can move the upper part, you can move the feet. It's one of those beds that you can conform it to whoever you want it conformed to. I loved I loved that bed. I'm sorry. So, but the room that the semi-private room that I got, in the end, it's like I ended up getting a private room because the semi-private room that I got didn't have in anybody else. So it was a room with two beds. I would switch the beds and so on. I went and took the bed nearest to the window. There was a curtain separating the two beds from each other, I think. But like I said, there was nobody else in the room. That was an empty semi-private room. Going there like I'm really excited about the surgery and stuff like that. My mom is like hanging around, she's checking out everything, she's looking outside. I think I was maybe on the 4th floor, the 5th floor. I was on one of those high floors, child. I could see everything from east to west. So it's time for my mom to go, and my mom is like, like she starts to have that motherly that motherly thing going on, and like she is hugging me, and she's like, I'm gonna come tomorrow before the surgery. Are you sure you're gonna be okay by yourself? And I'm like, Mom, like I'm fine. Like it's it's fine. It's cool. There was a TV, there was a bathroom. Yeah. When I did go into the room, did I have to change into a hospital robe? Yeah. Did I? I don't even remember, but I can't remember right now. But I do know that I had like change of clothes, like I had a bag of clothes and stuff like that, like toothbrush and toothpaste and yada yada hygiene stuff. I went, showered, come out, dry off, got my bed. Oh no, lie! I actually did not sleep. I did not sleep that night, and it wasn't for the reason that you think. I wasn't scared or anything. Like I said, I was excited for the surgery. I was really excited about it. I spent all night talking to my brother. Like I think my brother called me when my mom went over. Or she called me and then put him on the phone, and literally, me and him spoke all night. I think my dad called too from Mexico. And me and him spoke for like a good while too. And then, me end up drop asleep. Bam. Did I get dinner the night before? I don't remember if I got dinner. I think they just gave me bread and tea, which is the one thing I hate. Let me tell you, one thing I hate about being in a hospital is that I like my food, okay? I like my rice and peas, I like my chicken, I like my food. I woke up in the morning, my surgery was scheduled for, I don't know if it was 9 o'clock. I think it was 9 o'clock. My schedule was, blah, blah, blah. My surgery was scheduled for 9 a.m. or 8:30 a.m., one of those times. And early in the morning. So my mom came from all the way from Spanish Town, come over Kingston to visit me, and she came and like she's like, are you okay? Da, 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 da. XYZ, 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 and she's talking to me and stuff, and she starts praying like. So this woman wanted to cry. She really wanted to cry, and in the back of my mind, I couldn't understand it because I'm saying, it's not life or death. It's just eye surgery. Like, mom, I'm gonna be fine. I'll be fine. So I don't know if she brought olive oil. I can't remember if she brought olive oil. I feel like she did. I think she brought olive oil. Like she bring her olive oil and she's like rubbing down my face and she's like, in the name of Jesus, and like real intercessory prayer, real intercessory prayer. And I think she left. She wanted to bring over food, but she couldn't because she couldn't travel with the Lord. She left, and my grandma, who is my dad's mom, my grandma came to visit me the same morning too, and my grandma was like, "You're all right, yada yada yada." I think at that time I had changed into the hospital robe, which I hated. Oh God, I hated that robe because it was open at the back. It was open at the back, so you could see my underwear. You could see my panties. You had two parts where you could tie, but it was open at the back. So I had changed into the robe at that time. I think the nurse came and she was like, Miss Samuels, your surgery is so, don't be nervous, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, why is everybody freaking out? I'm good. I'm fine. I'm not nervous. I'm actually out. I've been wanting to do this surgery for years. Like from I was a kid coming up, I always knew that I was supposed to do some surgery, but my blood pressure was too low for them to do it. And everybody knows, well, I don't know if everybody knows, but fun fact, if you have low blood pressure and you go underneath the anesthesia, the chances of you waking up back are very slim. You're not gonna wake up back. So your blood pressure has to be perfect before going into surgery. I think everybody know that already. But anyways, back to present. So my grandma comes, and like my grandma's a really sweet old lady. Like I'm telling you, like she's amazing. So she comes and she's like rubbing me and she's like, everything's gonna be fine. My little granddaughter I could do surgery. This chair is uncomfortable. This chair is uncomfortable. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, so she's like, my little granddaughter. And she was like, we did boil porridge for you and we did make breakfast for you, but we couldn't bring it because I guess I don't know if it was the doctors them or so, but hospital policy, I think the policy was that you could not bring food to the patient. Yeah, you couldn't bring food to the patient. So, Jesus, please. You couldn't bring food to the patient. You couldn't take food on the ward or anything. So, mind you, I was so hungry. I was so hungry. We never eaten apart from the little bread and butter the night before. And the morning of the surgery, with like before my grandma and my mom came, I think it was at like 7 a.m. or so. The only thing they gave to me again was bread, butter, and a cup of mint tea. I was so hungry. But I guess we couldn't eat before surgery, so you know. So I think my grandma came and left. My grandma came first. Spoke to me and ting, talked, kissed me, and then she left. I think she had work. And then my mom came after my grandma, like a couple minutes apart. Talked to me, etc., etc., prayed for me. And while my mom was going to wait on me basically. So my mom didn't leave. My grandma had work, but my mom didn't leave. She stayed. Um, so I'm talking to my mom, and it's like minutes to the surgeon. My mom is like, "Oh my God, it's time." Blah blah blah. The I guess the nurses came in, and the doctor who was going to perform my surgery came in, and they, oh my God, I forgot to say this. I should have said this from the beginning. In the preparation to do my surgery, they asked me if I wanted to do the surgery asleep or awake. I said, I'll do it awake, man. I was like, I'll do it wide awake. I'm fine. So the doctor's like, are you sure? You sure you want to do it wide awake? You know, we can just put underneath the anesthesia because your blood pressure is fine. I'm just like, listen, like, I don't care about the blood pressure. I don't care about being asleep. I just want to be awake during surgery. I said, am I going to feel pain? He said, no, you're going to get numbing medication. So I said, okay, as long as I get numbed out, then I'll do the surgery wide awake. It's fine. So yeah, back to present. They come and they came, got me, Yeah, so they came, they wheeled in this, I don't know what to call it, but it's the bed that they use to transport people to surgery, to the operating theater. So they come in the room with it and they're like, Miss Samuels, it is time. Like Simba and the Lion King, it is time. So they come up, they bust up all in there and they're like, yo, time for the surgery, go up on the bed. I'm just joking. So, you know, my mom is in the corner and her eyes start to water and she's holding onto my hand super tight. And I'm just like, Mom, relax. I'm going to be fine. This woman starts bawling in the hospital room because I'm my mom's baby. I'm my mom's baby and I've always been before my other two siblings came along, I have always been the younger sibling because there's a very wide age gap between me and my little sister. So I have always been the baby before they came along. And you know, like, oh my God, her baby's going to do surgery. They put me on the bed. I'm excited, you know. I'm excited, and the nurses are looking at me crazy because no 12-year-old is excited about doing surgery. Like normal 12-year-olds are bawling, they're screaming, all of that. So they come for me. They wheel me out. I say later on to my mom, they wheel me out. I'm on my back. Yeah, I'm on my back and they're pushing the bed with wheels. I don't know what to call it. If there's any doctor out there, anybody who knows what they call the bed with wheels that they use to push you into the surgery room, please comment that down below. So they're pushing me, you know, I'm having the time of my life. You know what I mean? And you know, when I went into the theater, it was this huge room and there were a lot of lights on the ceiling. I remember it was a very huge room, like very spacious room. I don't know if it was circular, I don't know if it was a square room, but it was a very huge room. It was a very huge room. And I met the doctors that were going to be performing my surgery. I met two of them. The first doctor I already knew previously because I would have met him in the process of trying to get my glasses and so on. And the second doctor, I'm not going to lie, that second doctor was cute and he was sexy. He was Asian looking, but I mean, that doctor was cute. He could operate on me anytime. In my 12-year-old mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, this doctor is cute. Like, he was young, he was fresh, he was like so nice to me. He was like, hi, Miss Samuels, my name is Mr. So-and-so. I'm going to be doing your surgery. Don't be scared, everything's going to be fine. Yada, yada, yada. But like, I wasn't freaking out. The whole time he's talking, I'm just staring at him like,
you look perfect tonight.
that's how I'm looking at the man. So they put me on the operating bed or whatever them call it. From the operating bed, they get there's a table of surgical items that they're gonna use, and like I said, I'm seeing all of this and I am not scared. Me no frightened. Me no afraid of nobody. as Vibes Cartel would have said. Yo, me never afraid of nothing. Don't believe it and thing. They so the first doctor says, okay, Miss Samuels, the first older one, he says, okay, Miss Samuels, we will be you're gonna feel a pinch right here. You're going to feel a pinch right here. So I'm like, okay, cool. And he injects me. I don't know if it was a numbing thing, but he injected me here. He injected me. I think I got 2 or 3 injections. I got one here. I got one here, or I think I got 2 here, and I got one here. So he was like, okay, Shannon, you're gonna feel a little pinch, and this is the so and so and so. So they tell me what they're injecting me with. For anybody who studies medicine, my hats off to you guys, because honestly. So they say, okay, Shannon, we'll now be injecting you with so and so, and I'm like, hey, what is that? They explain to me what it is, and they explain to me what it does or what it's going to do. So they inject me here, and then they inject me back here again or something like that. And one of the injections, I'm not going to lie, was painful. I don't know if it was the injection where they put the numbing thing, but when they numbed my face, when the injection first came in contact with whatever was underneath my skin, it felt burnish. Like for the first couple of seconds, it was painful. But like I said, like gyal talks, we never afraid of nobody.
We no afraid of nobody.
We never afraid of nothing. Like, tough you out. And then I lay down and I was looking like, this is cool. This is so exciting. This is exciting. So they turned the lights on to see. Well, no, I think the ceiling lights were already on. Or I think they made them brighter. And they put this mask over my face. So mind you, I could not see anything after they put the mask that they put on me. I don't know if it was plastic. I don't know what it was, but it covered my forehead. It covered here. It covered here. It covered my whole face, but it left out the eye that they were going to operate on. Yeah, so they cover my face, and they're still telling me that it's gonna be okay, and I'm like, I'm fine, like casual, like we're good. Get my thugs, we're good. Cover my face and thing, and they're like, okay, we're gonna get started. I wish I could say what is it that they did to make my eyes stay open, but they used something. I think it was a machine, but it's this thing that it goes under your eyelid and it holds your eye open. It holds your eye open. So during the surgery I was blinking, but this eye couldn't blink because they're operating on it. I think they gave me eye drops as well. I believe they gave me eye drops before the surgery. Yeah. They gave me eye drops. They must have had given me eye drops, but they gave me some eye drops before the surgery. They put the mask over my face and then they put something at my eye so that it wouldn't open. And they started. And these doctors literally let me know every single thing they're doing. They said, okay, Shannon, we're going to be making an incision in your eye. Da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, cool. But like I said, I couldn't feel anything. I couldn't feel a thing. They cut my eye open, and the surgery lasted 2 hours or 2.5 hours, I believe. I believe it lasted 2.5 hours. It was 2 hours or 2.5, I don't know. But it lasted around that amount. And can I tell you, the entire time that the surgery I go on, you don't never know say a surgery they do, because they're asking me how school is, and I'm telling them about school. I'm telling them about how my first semester of high school is going. I'm talking to them about my friends. I'm talking to them about my parents. We're talking about my dad. We're talking about my mom. Like, I mean, casual conversation while the doctors are there cutting into my eye and taking out whatever. So they had to cut it to my eyeball above the iris. I wish I could show the scar, but the scar would have faded by now. It's been, that surgery was 12 years ago, so yeah. They cut above my iris. They cut the lens from the ligaments holding the lens in place. So they took out that cataract and they put in the artificial lens into it, and did whatever. But at one point I did feel pressure on my eye, but they had warned me. They said, Miss Samuels, you're going to be feeling a little bit of pressure. Miss Samuels, we're going to be cutting your lens from this. Like every single thing. Can I tell you? I feel like the doctors that did my surgery were phenomenal, exceptional, because even though I was 12, everything that they were going to do to my eye, they said, hey, this is what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to be cutting your eyeball now. The incision is like maybe a half of an inch, or maybe about, I think the incision was about like this tall, the size of the fingertip. The incision was that tall. They're like, okay, we're going to be doing an incision. It's about this inch, or maybe a half inch tall, long, I don't remember. Okay, we're going to be cutting the lens from this now. Okay, like it was smooth. It was just smooth sailing. Like I wasn't freaking out. Nothing. And the doctors did commend me on that, because they were saying that you don't have many 12-year-olds going to do eye surgery wide awake. They say that most times they have to put them to sleep because they freak out. But they said, like with you, they said, Shan, you didn't have to go to sleep or anything. You just laid there. Like they were saying, they called it bravery. I just called it excitement, child. Excitement. My camera wanted to be a little douche, so I'm going to have to hurry up and speed this up. Okay, they did the surgery. I came out, go into the hospital room, and my mom is like, like she's looking at the bandage over my eye, and she's like, how do you feel? Are you okay? And honestly, I got discharged from the hospital the same day. They did give me, prescription medicine for the pain and stuff. And like I said, like I was doing fine. I was fine when I left surgery. Until I left the hospital and the numbing thing that they gave me wore off. And then we were taking the bus to go home. And can I tell you, that was the most pain. Oh God, it was so painful. I was in so much. I cried. Like I'm in the bus going over and me a bawl. Because me I say, that's the reason why when people are going to surgery, you have to numb them, because the pain is no joke. And take the bus, go home, the sun bright. People are look for me because I have the sitting over me eye. And yo God. Reach home, my mom was like my nurse when I was at home. She nursed me back. She gave me the eye drops when I needed them. When I went home, I did sleep. I slept. But I was a trooper. I was a soldier, because imagine me get discharged from the same day me do surgery. Like me do surgery the morning and me get discharged like another day. Because I didn't want to stay. The doctors gave me the option. They were like, Miss Samuels, if you want, you can actually go home right now if you wish. Because I didn't want to stay in the hospital like no longer than I needed to. And it's not like I couldn't walk or anything. But the one thing about when they were discharging me is that they said it was protocol that I be discharged in a wheelchair. Because I was like, I can walk, it's fine. They brought the wheelchair and thing. And I'm like, no, I can walk. Like, I'm fine. And they were like, no, Miss Samuels, it's protocol. Like, we have to wheel you out. So I'm just like, okay, then. I go in the wheelchair and, the nurse pushed me. And, like I told everybody bye. Everybody was like really nice. Like, the staff at that hospital was like awesome. That the reason I say like pay a good money and go private hospital, because public hospitals are not worth it. They're not worth it, child. And yeah, went home. I think I don't know if it was a week of recovery I had before I had to end up going back to school. But it didn't, it wasn't, I don't know if it was a week, I don't know if it was 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks I had to be home for before I had to go back to school and things. So that's the story of how I did surgery wide awake. I hope you enjoyed the story time. Another people may ask, oh, can you see now? No, I still cannot see from my eye. And when I spoke with the surgeon, because the doctor who I go to test my glasses, and the doctor who, you know, I only go to one person for my glasses. The doctor who I go to test my glasses and, you know, to get the new prescription and all of that, to renew them, he's the doctor that did my eye surgery. One of the best doctors I know, to be honest. So when I spoke to him when I went to get these glasses, I spoke to him 3 years ago. He said that the reason why the reason why, Jesus please, the reason why I still cannot see from this is because within the 12 years that the cataract was there, the cataract blocked light from getting to my retina, and so my retina never got to develop. Which means that yes, even though light is reaching the retina, it didn't develop to process it, to take that image to my brain so that my brain can say, oh, that's a book, you know. So I can only see from one eye, but it's okay, child. It's not like, it hasn't stopped me from doing anything. I can still cook, I can still clean, I can still drive. I'm not handicapped, and I don't want people to feel like, because I'm technically half, you know, I don't want anybody to think that I'm handicapped. I'm not handicapped. I can see. I still have this eye. I can see from this eye. I do wear glasses now though, because I'm nearsighted in this one. And as much as how you see me talking to this camera, it is so blurry from where I am. So yeah. That is a story of how I did eye surgery. I am happy for the surgery because, like I said, it had to be done, because if a cataract stays untreated, it's just going to, the lens are just going to get thicker and thicker, and it's going to spread to other parts of the eye. And that's why when you look at pictures of like people with cataracts, you realize that right here is white, and the inside the pupil is white, because inside my pupil was white. But at this point, all I can say is God is good, because I could have been born blind, but I was not. I could have ended up fully blind, but I am not. I can still see. My eyes still work. And the beautiful part is that I am so happy that even though I cannot see from this eye, it doesn't look like it. Like persons, a normal person will look at me and they'll not be able to tell that I can't see from one of my eyes. I look like a normal person. I'm still pretty, I'm still cute, child, any day, anytime. But anyways, trials and tribulations, I wouldn't really call it a trial and tribulation, but I do call it God being good to me. So guess what? I move on with life, and I live it, and I make it the best way I can. What is the moral of this story? The moral of the story is work with what you have. Work with what you have. Work with what you got. If you're going to go into any surgery or whatever, especially if it's something major, pray before you go into surgery. Know that it's in God's hands always. It's always in His hands. And just remember that there is always somebody who is in a worse off position than you. You have persons out there who are fully blind. Because I can see right now. I don't have on my glasses, but I'm able to walk. I know when something is in my way. Yeah. So I'm not blind. I can still see. Thank God. I guess the next moral could be to be grateful for what you have and be grateful for where you are. And be grateful for the many blessings that God has given to us. And on that note, I'll end the story time. This is your seasoned queen. This is your seasoned queen, Shanzvi, and I hope you have a great one.